Hello, we have Michelle Churchill in the house. How are you doing? If you are new to the show, I am super excited that you are tuning in today, and it is such an honor to have you on. We are talking one of my favorite subjects ever today, probably because it was one of my biggest weaknesses. So if you're tuning in, and you're in the space of the e-commerce of making money online and you're like, I have customers or I get them to sign up, but now what do I do with them? I'm going to come in right now and share some of my best strategies with you on what I do with customers and how I have such a high success rate when it comes to my customers coming back time and time again. Again, my name is Michelle Churchill. I've been in the space of making money online for 4.5 years now. It's absolutely crazy to say that out loud. I had absolutely no business being in business. I was this mom who had her credit card decline for a coffee. I had over $60,000 in student loan debt. My daughter and I were on Medicaid, and we even had food stamps for me to be able to give my daughter milk. And here I am, the girl that had no Instagram, no YouTube, no TikTok, and this Facebook page that I never even used with less than 200 friends and family members and 0 followers has now grown a massive empire all around the world. And I help normal people just like you do the exact same. So, I have some strategies that I want to share with you that you can start implementing today. I will give you real life examples. Feel free to ask any questions. But when we talk about my daily method of operations, if you do not have that, make sure on Facebook, I will drop the link in the show notes. Michelle Churchill Dworak. There is a link in my bio for my Mompreneur Goal Digger group. And in there, you will find my daily method of operations power hour tracker that will take your business exactly where it's from, being average to savage, by showing up and implementing 11 items each and every day and divorcing the process, marrying the process, and divorcing the results. Okay. So just taking that checkbox and internally knowing, okay, I'm showing up to do the do. The needle is slightly moving forward each and every time that I do that. So make sure you get in that group. Also, I come live with these trainings every Tuesday and every Thursday. Make sure you subscribe to my podcast. It is under Michelle Churchill. It is No More BS. Hello Success. And you can also find that as well in the show notes. Okay, so let's dive into this. We have our customer, they signed up. What do we do with them? So, for example, I am more in like the health and wellness industry. So, I'm kind of my niche of people, and a little bit about my background was losing weight after having a baby, struggling with those last 10 pounds, struggling with the 35, 40 pounds that I put on during pregnancy. So, I speak a lot of what it is that I finally implemented that got me to my end game. And with that comes really 5 things that I talk about on a daily basis, consistent weekly basis. People see me showing up and showing how I drink my water, because one of my biggest strategies was I went to the doctor because I wasn't getting results. And coming to find out, it had nothing to do with my thyroid or my hormone levels or my vitamin levels. It had to do with me being dehydrated, and that showed through blood work. I wasn't aware that your body can't effectively burn fat if you're not getting the proper amount of water, which is half of your weight in ounces of water. I'm sure you've seen tons of my trainings on it. So that's something that I consistently show up. So I figured, okay, if I could create a safe place for my customers, let's utilize Facebook groups, right? A safe place for my customers, label it something fun every single month to keep it more, exciting and vibrant. And I could show up with these things that attracted the person to me in the first place, checking in on it. And it gives them an option to check in. So water is something that every day inside of my free group for my customers, I tell them I drank 2 cups of coffee today, which was 16 ounces, and half of my weight is, 145. That means I should have drank, half my weight plus the coffee added back in, around 90-ish cups, 90-ish ounces of water. I had X, Y, and Z. I rate myself 5 the best, 0, I failed it. So then they get an opportunity to do that. So what is something in your business? Is it a product line that you're putting directly on your face, or you're mixing it in with your water, where you could rate yourself on it each and every day and even show a picture? Because if you let your downline and sideline in on this and their customers can be in it, guess what? It's more momentum and more people in the group. And if those people aren't seeing that they're checking in and they're seeing that you're checking in on your product, they might become curious to what it is. Okay. So you're leveraging the entire group for everyone. It's a safe community and it's a way to build relationships, because that's what it's all about at the end of the day. The second thing is nutrition. I realized after one day of tracking my eating, which I'd never done before, that I was over consuming about 700 calories a day, and my protein was 40 grams. Never knew this until after going to that doctor's appointment. I ended up pulling back on my portions, and once I got that under control, then I started pulling back on my carbs a little bit and getting my grams of protein up a little bit. So each day I'm checking in on this. Okay, my goal is my goal weight, which is 140 in grams of protein every day. How close was I to it? And if for my maintenance weight, now that I'm in maintenance, did I stay within range of how much energy / calories I'm putting into my body? So that's also something that we show up in my group. So now they have an option to show up for nutrition. They have an option to show up for water. My next is my supplement. And I actually show myself taking it. Whether I'm having a conversation with my husband and I'm taking a tablespoon a day and eating it off of it or doing whatever it is that I'm doing, one of the best things that you could do is literally hit your live button or create a short video of you making breakfast and literally utilizing the product that's helped you in so many ways. So for me, I love making my breakfast with a cup of berries, 2 scoops of protein, my tablespoon of my cashew butter, smashing it all together, taking my chocolate pudding that is my fat burner / medical grade collagen and dousing it all over the top of it, along with taking another supplement that's going to speed up my metabolism without even really having to share what it is that I'm using. Okay, it's building curiosity without having to spam. What is that you're doing? What is that that's in there? What is your recipe? Okay, now I'm open to having a conversation with this person. During the whole process of me putting this on a spoon, what could I be saying? Well, guys, today is Wednesday, and today is Tuesday. I keep thinking it's Wednesday. And we're heading to Traverse City on Thursday, and today I teach. I'm feeling much better than I did yesterday. Sunday, we ended up having friends over. I ended up getting into, sometimes I just can't say no. And I know how bad dairy and gluten and junk food, what it does to my stomach. Yesterday, I was like so sick and the gas was freaking awful. And today I'm feeling so much better. So I'm like so grateful that I'm back on track. And now I'm off to teach at Lifetime, and Bella's going to Troy Gymnastics for camp. That could all be with a hands-free, the camera's facing me while I'm taking my product, right? How are you going to get better at doing it? You're going to freaking do it. Because listen, I didn't come out of my mama's womb knowing how to show up on social media. I look back to 4.5 years ago and I sucked really bad at it. But guess what? I didn't suck at envisioning myself every day doing it. I would write down on paper every single day. Like now that I'm crushing it on my live stories and videos and reels, I'm so happy and grateful because I'm changing lives and becoming so confident. I spoke to myself, future me in present tense. And as I would write that on paper, my imagination would go to doing it. Anything is possible. What you want already exists. If you can put it into your imagination and get it to the forefront of your mind by repeating it day in and day out, I'm telling you right now, you can overcome anything. Okay. The fourth thing, personal development. I came from a family of, 4 sisters, 1 brother. My parents had 6 kids in 6 years. They had 2 sets of twins, 21 months apart. I mean, I still have PTSD from childhood, like crazy galore. Could you imagine? So I kind of, back 5 years ago, was a really negative person. Everything was, oh gosh, her this and judgmental, and she should do this, and why would she wear that? And I was really nasty. And it could be sunny, but then it's just the air quality was this. And I always looked for the cup being half full or half empty instead of being half full. And I didn't like it. And I thought that's just how my life was. I thought that's just the person who I was, and that I was anxiety ridden. I didn't realize it was a choice. So I dived into personal development. I started reading personal growth books, because what I've learned is that you can become anything by studying. And by studying, I mean reading personal development books. We don't learn how to control our mindset through all of our years of middle school and high school. We don't learn how to react to people. We don't learn our thoughts, that there's 2 things we can do in life. We can how we react and our thoughts around it. But we're not taught that. So by continuously showing up and studying, which was something that I did when I first opened my business doors, because the person who I wanted to become, that's what she did. And I wanted to do what it was she was doing, because she was very successful. So I started doing it. And now there hasn't been a day where there's an Audible book on. I'm listening to personal growth books. I'm listening to personal development. I'm writing down who and what I am before it even happens, so I can take my imagination there so that it can become true. So I encourage people to read personal development. So how can I make sure that each person that I sign up as a customer can understand this? I ended up the first time making a check sheet. Okay, everyone purchased the book, The Compound Effect, on Audible. It's the book that I read to change my life. Listen to 10 minutes a day. Okay. Nutrition, tracking MyFitnessPal. But then I got to a point where I go, okay, I'm going to create a video, a tool that I can point them to, because explaining that was taking a lot of my time. If I can have a video in the group, welcome video, with all 5 things that you're going to check in on today, guess what? Here's what you're going to check in on. Here's what helped me. Here's what's going to help you. And here's what you're going to do. I can tag them in that video. Each day I can have a check-in post generated. I can have it all set up the week before, scheduled for at 4:00 every day. Everyone can comment in that one area. I can engage on it. I can cheer people on. I can let them know that it's failing. And these are customers of mine. And the last thing we check in on is our water or our workouts. Did you get 10,000 steps so that you move your needle of being sedentary into non-sedentary? Because it doesn't matter about the workout or the steps. What matters is the side effects that you're taking yourself away from not being in that sedentary lifestyle. So that's one way to retain customers. You have this free group on Facebook. You never change the group. You just keep adding people in. People will become engaged and unengaged when and if they want, but they're watching you. You create a check-in method day in and day out. You can either hire it out. I got to a point in my business where I was like, okay, I'm busy. I mentor people. I'm building a massive business. I sign up, over 100 customers a month, over 10 recruits last month. Like, I need to have someone set this up for me, but I can engage in it. But to go in a Facebook group and set up a post every day, the same post for a check-in, is something that I can outsource for someone to do. So in there, every month, I look on Pinterest for fun names, fun Facebook group names for a challenge. And each month, I just change the name and change the theme so that it always is something new for them. I also will go to like Etsy or something, and every week, a little bit of a treat. I'll purchase like a $4.99 meal plan for them, or a grocery shopping list, because every single one of them is benefiting from it, and it's helping them learn what it is that they didn't know. Because I didn't know about water intake. I didn't know about steps. I didn't know about nutrition. I learned this by going through it, but now I have to walk that person through it. You can't just say, okay, customer, here's your face wash, go have a good day. How do you put that face wash on? What are you doing before you put the face wash on? What are you doing after you put the face wash on? What temperature of the water are you using? There's so much valuable information that you could help your customer with that they may not be getting. And because of that lack of knowledge, they stop using the product because they think it just doesn't work. So that's the first thing. We have that Facebook group. Drop any questions that you may have. We have my daily method of operations tracker. You have to go to the Facebook bio of mine, the Mompreneur Goal Digger group. I'll put the link in the bio in the show notes. Second thing we want to do is when we're on our stories, if we see our customers, we want to say hello. If I see Sharon, especially when you're first starting off, like I, even almost 5 years into the industry, if I'm going through my stories, I know that Sharon Miller is a customer of mine, which I just made that name up. So if she's on my stories and she's following along what it is that I'm doing, like, hey, Sharon, happy Monday. How are you? Maybe Sharon says, I'm great. I was curious. What's that oatmeal that you make? Now I can add value to Sharon's life because all this business is about is one thing, building relationships. And the more times you can touch someone or, hey, how are you doing? Or show that you care, the higher percent your retention rate is going to go up. And they're going to continue coming back. And when your company launches a new product line that it was something they needed, they're going to come and they're going to use it and they're going to be the first ones to try it. So when they're on your stories, which every single day you should be on your stories, guys, every day. That's where I've built a multiple $50,000 in sales in the month of February, $30,000 in sales, just personal customer sales in the month of last month, which was July, all through my stories. So having conversations through my stories, popping the question, hey, Brittany, thanks for stopping by on my story. Happy freaking Tuesday. I'm curious. I've found this product with 1 spoonful a day has helped me in so many freaking ways. Would you be open to taking a look? If not, no big deal. That's not spamming. I hear these people say, like, you don't have to spam your friends or your family. That's not spamming when you have a miracle in your mouth and you're asking someone if they're open to taking a look. Because after having skin cancer, the wrinkles and the scarring that I had and struggling with hair growth, if someone didn't ask me if I was open, I don't even know where I would be. I wouldn't be living my best life and having the confidence levels that I now have from a supplement. Okay? So you got to switch that imagination of what you're telling yourself that it's salesy into it's a miracle in my mouth. It's a gift. Now that I have a freaking gift in my freaking forefront of my hands, and now that I'm offering it to people, I'm so happy and grateful. That's what you got to start saying to yourself. Not just today, not just tomorrow. When you go camping on Saturday, when Sunday you're at the baseball field, when Monday you're driving back into work, day after day after day, get it into your imagination and you're going to watch it in your mind be crafted and become true. And then you're going to see yourself doing it. Okay. So going through your stories and when you see customers, starting a conversation with them, even if they ignore you and you see them on it a couple weeks later. Hey, Brittany, happy Sunday. What's going on? Go comment and engage on their post. Okay. The other thing is posting content. Every day we should be showing up on social media. Guess what? I had to learn the hard way. I have to show up on social media and I have to be social because I used to feel like a really, really weird person until I realized keep doing it, Michelle, until it doesn't feel weird. Keep doing it until it feels authentic. I remember every day I'd wake up on a piece of paper and I'd say, now that I'm showing up on social media authentic, I'm so happy and so blessed because it feels amazing. Even before I believed it. You have to imagine it before you actually believe it. Okay? Again, you have to go back to studying. You have to be studying every single day. So on my posting content, if I'm seeing a customer of mine on my post, first and foremost, if I've never asked a new person on my post if they're open to taking a look at my product, or if they're open to taking a look at what it is that I'm doing, this business opportunity, now's the time. Like now is the time. I don't care if it's a positive quote. I don't care if it's you and your family at date night and this freaking business paid for that. You can easily be like, hey, Kim, happy freaking Tuesday. I am totally freaking curious. Do you like money? No, but seriously, do you like money? I'm picky about who I choose to work with, but insert a genuine compliment. The way you show up on your stories is so freaking vibrant. Would you be open to taking a look at what it is that I do if it didn't interfere with what it is that you're already doing? If not, no big deal. I think you're awesome either way. There's nothing wrong with that. Just like there's nothing wrong with the girl at Old Navy coming to you and saying, is there anything that I can help you with? Do you need a different size? You're authentic, you're real, you're nice, you're curious. And when you add value to people's lives, that's when your business freaking goes from here to a freaking rocket ship where you see lots of commas in your paycheck. And you're like, how did I get here? You got there by imagination because 95% of your success is your mindset right now. What are you saying to yourself today? What are you saying to yourself during this video? And I know people think I'm crazy. I used to think people were crazy, like Bob Proctor. Go search Bob Proctor. Start listening to him. And guess what? I want to be like him. So I don't care. I'm not going to think he's crazy. I know it's factual information. He's studied time and time and time again. And his success is because this is what he's done. Okay? So posting content. If you see him on your post, you're going to reach out. In that Facebook group, you are going to comment and engage when they do check in. And then also reels. If you get a heart on a reel of you taking your product, I don't care if that person's not even following you. You need to reach out. Hey, Brittany, thanks for stopping by on my reel. Totally curious. I found this. I mean, why are they hearting it? It's kind of like you walking into Old Navy and someone looking at you who works there and then turning their back to you. I see a customer, but I'm going to turn my back. Hey, if not, no big deal. No, thank you. No worries. I'm in Michigan. Where are you from? I have one daughter. I see you're a mom. How old's your son? Create the relationship. But if she commented or hearted on a post that is about your supplement or about how you make an additional stream of income, that is a way of her saying, my hand's up in the air, and she couldn't say it any more clear. Okay? And then lastly, when you get to a point, follow this. This is what I follow now. Being in the industry for almost 5 years and mentoring people and coaching people through my coaching business. Now I'm to a point where I can use something like Project Broadcast, which is a text messaging device. You know, you can send text messages. So when you get your first customer, you could literally tap them for the first week every day. Hey, Brittany, how are things going? ? Hey, Brittany, just wanted to circle back. How are things going? Especially like for me, I have them following a nutrition plan. I have them taking the collagen. I have them tracking their water intake, and I have them doing 10,000 steps and personal development. So like, oh, everything's going good. Awesome. You know, like what positive changes are you feeling? Oh, this and this and this. Like they say nothing. Oh, like, are you reading the compound effect? How long are you doing that for? Having that conversation with the person, being able to ask those questions, and you're going to get better at it by doing it. And then after a week, guess what? Then you can do it once a week. Hey, Brittany, I wanted to touch base with you. How are you? I'm great. What positive changes are you seeing and feeling? After that, you can do it bi-weekly. So bi-weekly, you will tap that person. And then you will tap them monthly for the rest of their lives, every month. I have customers that have been with me in my previous company. I was in my previous company for 4 years, and I have customers who came over and signed up with me and are still with me. So almost 5 years later. So can you comment below or smash that heart button if this gave you some massive ideas for customer retention in your business, whether that's a business that you own for the e-commerce or social media, or a business that you own for selling jewelry or owning a pizza shop. So I hope you guys found value in this. I do see someone who's special. So Claude, I'm going to follow you because I see you on here. You guys make sure you go to Michelle Churchill Dworak, and inside of one of the links in my bio, you're going to see the Mompreneur Gold Digger group. In there, once you add in, you will be able to have access to my daily method of operations tracker. I am telling you that when you show up and you implement this tracker every single day, you will take your business from average to savage. But without you tracking, I can't say, hey, Sarah, so how was last week? Oh, it was okay. How many people did you reach out to? How many minutes of personal development did you do? How many posts did you have? Because if you don't have factual numbers, how are we going to build on that? Because even if you had 5 posts, we could up it this week to 6. If you only reached out to 25 people, we can up it to 30. But what happens is you slow down, you feel defeated, and you stop in general. You stop altogether. Then the month ends and you're at another month where you lost in your business, and that's what you're telling yourself. Let's show up differently. Let's show up today and say, okay, it's been 1 week since August 1st. How many people did I reach out to? How many posts have I done? How many follow-ups have I done? Because now I can add 5 to every single one of those and see how it turns out 7 days from today. That's what I'm going to focus on. I'm going to focus on that. Not that I'm being ghosted. That's part of a business. That's why as an entrepreneur, you are learning and you are pouring into yourself each and every day through personal development. You're not alone. What you're going through is what I'm going through. So I don't want you to ever think that for 1 second when you're feeling defeated, when you're feeling scared, you're never alone. We're right there with you because listen, fear and faith are the same thing. You don't know what's going to happen. But would you rather lean into faith or stay back and be fearful? That's what I always say to myself. Fear and faith is all both the same thing. It's doing something you don't know the outcome of. Don't lean into fear. Lean into faith. Don't fake it until you make it. Freaking faith it until you make it. I'll be back on Tuesday for another episode. Make sure you guys subscribe to my podcast. I show up each and every week offering you the best content and best strategies to build your business from your phone, from home, on the side of your full-time job, or to actually replace and unsupplement your income, but replace your income, and to do this from home full-time. It's again on the podcast app, Michelle Churchill. It's the No BS podcast. Hello, success. Until next time, I'll see you later.